Hey everybody, welcome in to the Steak Dinner Bowl recap for Week 16. We got the semi-finals matchups week, and what a week it was. So let's get right into the matchups and look at who will be playing for the championship. And while we're at it, we'll take a look at who will be playing in the Don't Come in Last Bowl, the Toilet Bowl this year. Not to be a spoiler, but one of the teams in the Toilet Bowl this year may have the perfect name for it. But no spoilers, no spoilers. So let's get to it. The first matchup we had was myself in the first seed versus Anne Marie in the fifth seed playing. Our original projection had me winning by over 20 points. Turns out I lost by about 20 points. But what are you going to do? We had Pat Mahomes for myself. Did not get 50. Got 36. Cooper Kupp got 10. Waddle crushed it. I mean, he had a great game. Watson, it's only 7.9 points. Not great for him. Pollard, another only 11 points. He probably should have had a touchdown. It was right in his hands. If he had caught it, he could have turned and had a touchdown. But, of course, Stonehand did it. And the very next play, CeeDee Lamb gets the touchdown. McKinnon with 11 points. I don't know if I really watched too much of that game. Mostert with 15 points. McColfin with 4 points. I needed him to get about 25 points because he was my last guy going on Monday night. Only got 4. Not even close. Cleveland with 14 points, giving me 145. Anne Marie had Tom Brady going on that Sunday night game, and I would think I was up by like 4 points, and then Tom Brady didn't look good at all at the beginning of that game, but then came through at the end. We had like 10 points going into the second half, and then crushed it in the second half, of course, with to come from my win. She had Amon St. Brown, got 11 points. CeeDee Lamb was just getting touchdowns after touchdowns in my face. And Devontae Smith had another big game. That was a big game for her, with Lamb and Smith, with Dallas and Philly having a shootout. I mean, that worked out well for her. Mixon had 14 points. Patterson didn't have a great game. Goddard didn't have a great game. Myers, of course, with some crazy catches to get 18. She had Justin Tucker and Dallas defense for a total of 168 and a seat at the championship table. Congratulations, Anne Marie. And for our second semifinal matchup, we had Ryan in the 3 seed and Omar in the 2nd seed. It looked like it was going to be close. The projected was 155 for Ryan and 163 for Omar. And for the second matchup in a row, we had originally projected to win and a loss. Ended a loss. We had Ryan with Josh Allen getting 36. A.J. Brown with 14. Godwin with 10.3. Davis with 10. Henry crushing it with 23. 126 rushing yards, a rushing TD. Did have a fumble, but made up for it. He had Josh Jacobs only getting 5.5. Not a great day. Dolchik with 11.9. Pacheco with 11. Zerline with 3. And Tennessee with 18. I mean, not anyone going off too crazy, but with the 144 score, takes down for the win against Omar's team, who, even with the bye, didn't have a great week. We had Justin Fields only with 20 points. That probably hurt him the most. Hill with 13. Jamar Chase with under 10. DeAndre Hopkins with less than a point. McCaffrey only getting 12.8. It's not great for him. Dobbins with only 5. Kelsey had a decent game, got him 15.3. Connors had a huge game at 21.5. Bass got 0 points. He had a missed APT. He did have one field goal made, but I canceled it out. And he had the New York Giants only scoring 9 points for a total of 108.96. And Omar's got to play for third against myself, while Ryan and the Reapers, coming from the dead of last year, what that team was, to the championship round. Great run for Ryan. Congrats and good luck in the championship. And with that, let's take a look at the championship brackets for the playoffs. We'll look at how we got to the championship matchup. The first round, Anne-Marie had beat Jen, and Ryan had beat Shitty Mike. It's actually kind of interesting. If Jen had got that third spot and switched with Ryan, Ryan actually would have beat Anne-Marie. She would have been out of the playoffs. And Jen would have beat Shitty Mike by 1 point. And then for the semifinals, she would have played Omar and beaten him to get her way to the championship. And Ryan would have played me, and then I would have got to the championship. So that whole 3-4 seeding right at the end there could have changed everything, which is pretty wild. But that's what got us to the championship. It's fantasy football, you never know. And the first consolation round we had was Mike versus Jen for 5th place. And Jen taking 5th place. And Shitty Mike headed into the consolation rounds. This week we had 2 other consolation rounds. We had the 7 versus 10. We had Corey beat Carlos, putting Corey going to the 7th place game against the Baconator, who beat Mark. So it'll be Carlos and Mark playing in the toilet bowl. I made a joke earlier about the name matching perfectly, and because I thought it was Shitty Mike. But I'm not going back to change the podcast, so deal with it. If anybody wants to edit, go for it. And the last bit of news this week is Mark hasn't paid. So we're going to see how that's going to go down, whether that's going to get deducted from Anne-Marie's winnings. Well, she'll have to weigh in on that. I don't know how she's going to feel about that, but we're at the championship week, and Mark hasn't paid. So that's the last bit of league news. And good luck to everyone in your matchups this week. If you're in the toilet bowl, good for you. If you're in, me and Omar playing 3-4, we're playing for third this week. Third still pays out. And we also have a side bet of a muffin and coffee. I didn't forget. Hope he didn't forget. We got Anne-Marie and Ryan in the finals. Good luck to both of them this week. And let's have a great championship weekend. Hopefully you don't lose the toilet bowl. Looking at you, Mark.